Hi, welcome to Zoke's channel. My name is James, also known as Zoke. I collected back in the day, in the early 90s, late 80s. I haven't collected in quite a while, but I went through some of my old boxes and decided to start pulling out some of my old comic books. The reason I made this video is I'm going to get five of my books graded. And I'm going to explain the reason I am grading them. And most of the reason these are going to get graded is more for personal um, pleasure and not for investment purposes. I don't really plan on selling a lot of these. Collecting is something that originated with comic books for me. I also collect a lot of other things, but I've always loved collecting comic books and love to read them. So without further ado, here are the five books I'm going to get graded. These books behind me here, I got actually through mystery box sales. So I personally have not had any of my books graded. So this will be the first time that I get my personal books graded, and I picked five for certain reasons, and here they are. Here are the five. We got Batman number 442. It's the first appearance of Tim Drake in the classic Batman, or excuse me, classic Robin costume. So I thought this would be a good investment comic, even though I probably won't sell any of these comics for a long, long time. But I decided this one would be good, and also I decided it'd be good because I don't know about the pressing that CGC does. So this one has some wrinkles. I don't know if you can tell. There's a little bit of wrinklage there. You kind of see on the front a little bit of the warpage. So what I'm hoping is that by getting this pressed through CGC, you will no longer see a lot of these wrinkles. This comic book has some value, but it would be a lot better if it was much flatter. So we'll see how much the press can take out these wrinkles. Cool cover. Okay, so that would be this one would be a long-term investment for me. I don't really, not really partial to the Batman comics particularly. But I would definitely put it up on my wall as a cool cover once it's graded. So I'm not a grader, and like I said, I have never got anything graded myself. So I'm not going to try to figure out what kind of grade this is. If you guys want to go ahead and figure it out, go ahead. And when I get it back from CGC, I will make another video on what it came out and how the press did for the book. How well it worked. So that's the first one. Secondly, we have a Guardians of the Galaxy first appearance of future Ghost Rider. I don't really like to get any books graded in the 80s plus because I still like to read them. I think I'd only really want to get ones graded that have a reason to be preserved, especially older books. So anything in the 80s is not really that old for me that I would consider it getting graded to keep it intact purposes. But this one I will get graded because what's unique about this guy is it doesn't have one cover. It actually has two covers. I have not seen one like this yet on any kind of website or the internet. So I think this could be a very rare comic to get graded just because of the double cover. I think that's pretty unique. Like I said, I have not seen that any other place, so I think this would be worthy of getting graded just because of that. So, and Ghost Rider appearance from the future. That's pretty good. Thirdly, and this is Doom Patrol number 3. Number 3. Very cool cover. I really like the cover. I want to get it graded because I will put this up on my walls. It is the first appearance of Lodestone, which is this gentleman here. And I like the cover. Another reason I'm going to get this graded is because it also is pretty water warped. I don't know if you can see that well, but it's pretty water warped. So I am curious to see if the press will take out these water warps. See if I can catch it in the light. See how the light's hitting it all different? That is because it's water warped. And I'm hoping that the press through CGC will get all of that out and it will become a very nice comic book. So, if you're interested to see how this turns out, you'll have to check out my video once I get these back. But cool cover. I just like that cover. I like the robots kind of torn up. So I would put this on the wall. Cool cover. Doom Patrol number 3. I have a couple other Doom Patrols. 2 through, I believe, 10. But a lot of them have water damage like that as far as ripples are concerned. So if this does come out flattened without the ripples, then I will definitely consider getting my other Doom Patrols graded and pressed. Because I think there will be a value for these, especially with the series out on, I forgot what channel, but with the series out, I think these could be a good investment for the future. I wouldn't hang a lot of them on the wall, but this one I definitely would. I just like that cover. Fourth, we have New Mutants 100. And the reason I'm going to get this one graded, this is one of my favorites that I bought when I was collecting as a kid. I loved this cover. I loved all the 100 in the background, the Warpath. I think that's cool. This would be definitely one I'd put up to show off. I'm going to get it graded because I actually have 2 of them. I have a comic book stand. I have a comic book bought one and a newsstand, which is this one. I believe the newsstands are a little more rare than the comic book store books that typically would have the Spider-Man emblem here instead of the barcode. But to get back to the point, I believe I was going to get this grade. I am going to get this graded because it is a store, which seemed to be more rare than the comic book books. So cool comic anyway, cool cover, desirable book. So this definitely could have some value after the grade. And lastly, we got this guy, and this is a G.I. Joe. It's a newsstand print. I also have another copy of this one, but in the comic book, from the comic book store, which doesn't have the barcode. This is the first appearance of Spirit in comics. Cool cover too. Definitely one I would probably put up on my wall to show off. Like I said, I think it could be more rare because it's a newsstand. You don't see too many newsstand versus comic book shop books. that don't have the barcode. So I think this will be a worthy grader. As far as a grade goes, like I said, this will be my first time getting books graded personally, so I'm not going to say what number it would be. Hopefully it's a high one, and we'll just have to see. So thank you for viewing my video. In case you want to inquire to remember which ones I was going to have graded, it would be all these guys. So, if you enjoyed the video, please watch another. You can find more of my videos at Zoke's World. Zoke's World. Thank you for the views. Bye-bye.